So as promised, we said we'd get into some what not to do. So let's talk about what pitfalls that we should watch for when choosing a contractor.
Well, we'll go back and forth. I'm sure we both have a couple right at the top of our heads. You know, the first one I think is the exact stated opposite for how I just said it, and that's just feeling comfortable with that initial low ball budget. If everyone's coming in at X and somebody comes in 10,000 or 15 or 50,000 less than the other budgets, there's probably some clues in there that that person is either not thinking it through, they're not detail oriented enough. So I think the first thing that the clients want to be aware of is just being able to compare the bids that start coming in and being able to know how to scrutinize the different ones.
Yeah, I mean, just to play onto that, to shop for price alone when you are looking at spending the amount of money you're going to spend on a remodel for a home is kind of a big red flag, because you're setting yourself up for failure in the end, because you want to go for quality and communication and just a good, reliable service from start to finish, because everything in life is never going to come out exactly how we want it, including the price. And so I think if you are prepared to ask the right questions and not be afraid to truly compare apples to apples when you are looking at two bids. And we recommend to our homeowners to go out and get a second bid and to make sure that they are choosing the right one. We want them to feel comfortable when they are choosing us and know that, but really know the difference of the apples to apples comparison and not be afraid to ask those questions. Well, this is different than this, and what does that mean to me? Because when we do take contracts and bids and separate them out and really do a cost comparison for our homeowners, we're neck and neck with everyone else that's out there.
Yeah, the initial part of, the initial part of that design build is to help coach with them, as I used that word earlier, because we know the dollar follows value, right? So the bids that are coming in may be very dissimilar in look and appearance, and we have no problem helping them understand at least the different itemization that we put into our bids. There's a lot of transparency and explanation in our bids to help them uncover what might be missing from other bids that seem lower. And there's also sometimes you'll see bids that are much, much higher, in which case maybe that contractor did the exact opposite and either is too busy and just doesn't need the work and they're just throwing the fishing line out there, or maybe they've put a lot of things in there that necessarily aren't needed, or they're just extraneous or very high-end upgrades that the client may not necessarily have asked for in the beginning. So talking to the contractor, I think, is always the most key thing that they can do, and feel comfortable to talk to the contractors. We're not trying to take anybody's money for certain. There's a lot of times you have to break down that first door that I don't want to share my budget with you because you'll just take it. We probably are going to be higher priced than what that budget is in their mind anyways, and everybody will be. So it's just getting that comfort level.
And I'd say that being able to ask questions comfortably, so I would encourage everyone, definitely question it. And I know that can feel a little bit awkward, but if you're working with a good contractor, they're going to be okay with you asking questions, especially if they're transparent. Absolutely.
Angie, we had a person write in. They asked about Angie's List, Better Business Bureau, probably doing some of that initial due diligence research. Those are all great things. Look at your Secretary of State's website. Make sure the company is in good standing. Check the Better Business Bureau to make sure they're maintaining an A or an A+ rating. Check Angie's List or other contractor, places where they can reside, references and testimonials. We maintain a very big House profile. A lot of folks are onto House and Pinterest for their designs. In each of those areas, we can have testimonials, references, and then picture portfolios. So that was a great question by one of the viewers about how to do that research. And those are all great internet research resources that you can look at 11 o'clock at night once your day's done. You don't have to make any phone calls. You can just do it right on your computer at home.
Google is an excellent search engine. All you have to do is type in the name, start with that, type in the name of the person that you're considering, and then you can go from there and it'll populate it with it. So yes, great point on that. And listen, if you're just tuning in, you're watching the Blue Sky Remodeling Basement and Remodeling Show. This is an online education series. Please go over to YouTube and subscribe to Blue Sky Remodeling. You can watch these shows anytime you want. Tons of great information. And then, of course, go to blueskyremodelingdenver.com and you can download their free cost estimator.